know, it's hard to believe. After a week at Tahiti Beach, we are leaving to go back to Marsh Harbor to get our engines fixed. Woo-woo! It is a gorgeous morning here today. Look at these clouds. We've got a southerly wind, which is nice. It's gonna push us in. And we are on the way. Goodbye to the O'Kellys. There's the O'Kellys. We'll see them in Marsh Harbor in a little while. Wow, you can see the full arc. That is so cool. Look at that rainbow. That's crazy. So bright. There's a double rainbow on the outside now. It's beautiful. This morning, Lorenzo is assessing the alternator before he starts the big job of changing the rear engine seals. And we had a visit from the O'Kellys. It's always fun to have them on board. They are super helpful.
Got the 4 screws on top.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you got to take off the crankshaft serpentine cover.
See bear tree?
Yes.
Right there. So you just take a car and then as you know, here's basically, you know, the main area.
Maybe. Said maybe it'll work. Yeah.
You guys know Lorenzo by now. He's worked magic on the windlass, and now he's back. He's back at Conch Marina, and we're gonna see about that rear main seal. Yeah. So he's got an ingenious way of handling things, with all that experience.
So, like I say, as you see, instead of taking it out, we lift it up, twist it to the side, and yeah,
that's cool.
Try to open it up and see what's
You don't have
inside.
to unhook anything doing that.
Well, yeah, you
a little bit.
hook a few stuff, but
Sure.
you know, a lot of stuff where we don't have to take off. You take out your Valero internal regulator and you put the Balmar new baby inside there. So this is the old cook one.
Oh
you know?
yeah, she's cooked.
Yeah, she's cooked.
Man.
The new baby.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Now how much did that set us back right there?
oh, this set you back about close to $5 bills.
Okay.
$500. Mm-hmm.
that's
All
nice.
2 of them are Valero.
Okay.
So 2 of them are your factory
Okay.
Yanmar alternators.
Okay.
But what they did is they put these external regulators on there.
Right.
So it can adapt to the Balmar system.
Okay.
So it's like a nice way to say, okay, so you don't spend the big bucks, to change your alternator.
Sure.
You just spend your, you know, a few $100 for the kit,
Sure.
and then just put it inside, you know?
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
So that's good to go for like many years.
Which one?
That alternator.
Oh, yeah, this is a
Okay.
brand new baby, so
Okay.
I can't see what could cost this to go.
Okay.
You know? Like I said, I think you're good for another 5, 6, 7+ years.
Nice.
You know? So as you see, you know how it's hanging on basically with a little bit of tread. So if
Right.
you pull that, I will probably pop it off. So definitely we'll redo that, you know.
Okay,
See?
cool.
As you see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know how they did that, but I'll recrimp that over. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. You know,
Yeah,
it's hard to get
definitely.
everything.
Definitely. So I'm going to electrical tape all of these stuff, and
Cool.
you're good to go. Always be careful with your belt,
Okay.
because you don't want your belt to get in the wrong groove. you
Okay.
know, and then it screws up your engine oil seal. You know, that once it gets in that middle there, I've seen sometimes with a V belt.
Right.
They you know, they put it on incorrectly, and then they slips off and goes into the.
So take extra. It's not hard.
No,
it's
just
really-
you just make sure, just pay attention. You know.
How often do those belts need to be changed?
To be honest with you, these are some good belts. So depends on how often you run it, but once a year if you're not running it as much. Or every if you're doing 200 hours, every 500 hours.
No way.
Every 500?
Yeah, or a little more because these are really robust, you know. And then you can always inspect them when you take them off. You know, you always monitor any shavings and belt dust, and inside the grooves you'll see like different cracks.
Okay.
You know, so but because even so you may have a new belt, but the lifespan at this, like for example the shelf life on this belt may not be.
Oh man, so I've got some extra ones. You're saying they have a shelf life?
In aviation, everything has a shelf life.
Sure.
And with rubber, I'm pretty sure it depends on how it's stored.
What you doing, babe?
Doing a perfect job putting the one-way covers on this.
And this is sun protection to preserve our hatches a little bit longer, right?
And it's very frustrating because to get it to fit right, I have to cut these right where the O-ring is. So it's just like dancing with the devil, really. So it's just a slow, painstaking process. So we clean and prepare our surface with isopropyl alcohol. And then let's put this back on. All right, babe, I think we got yet another one. 4 small ones down and then 4 big ones to go. You want to try that out for me? Look at that concentration. Don't screw it up. You've gotten good at just about everything these days. You're trying to show up your husband, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well done. Ah, delicate matter. Boy, look how much better it makes this look like. Look.
Yeah, amazing, right? All right.
All right, time for the sundowner. Good job. Well done. Oh, wow, look at this. Look, they're all set up like a tour. Look at this. Man, how cool. They look so fresh and new. Oh, they're just set up perfectly.
I am starting the process of changing out our old main halyard for our new main halyard. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to sew the old halyard to the new one so that when we pull it through, it does not come loose. That's the key, because we've done this before and it has already come loose. So there's my ugly sewing job. But it should hold, and that's all that's important. We've got to pull this line through the mast. We've done this once before, all the way up and over and back down again. And we're gonna tape that up. Definitely should be strong enough to hold just to get through. All right, we're wrapping it now with some Gorilla Tape to make sure this does not come apart under any circumstance.
Do you think that's going to keep it from going through?
Yeah, this is going to be the point of truth right here.
Well, it's everything.
Well, no, this line is smaller. Good? No? Boy, this is way too thick. All right, we modified it again. It's not fitting through. Let's see how this does.
It's in. Now I'm going to pull very slowly. Oh, that's called.
It's not even funny.
So this line, this halyard's a lot kinkier because it's made out of a Dyneema-esque material, so it gets knotted and kinked a whole lot easier. But look at that beautiful iridescent green-yellow chartreuse.
After successfully pulling the new main halyard through the mast, we then had to use the topping lift as the primary line to send Brown up the mast to take off our old halyard and tie on our new one. We were nervous about bracing the boom, and frankly, sending Brown up the mast is not something I do often. So we asked our new friends, Dean and Chris, if they could help us. And wow, I don't think we could have found a more capable pair of sailors if we tried. Brown's first trip up the mast was to shoot video of the main halyard connection to know how to prepare the new main halyard. We could speculate that it was a bowline connected by a shackle, but having absolute certainty would allow us to tie the bowline and whip the end for a more secure connection. In the end, our speculation was correct. This is Dean and Chris, and they are awesome. 2 mechanical engineers, we got double the benefit, and the councils are just too afraid to go up the mast on our own, so, oh, such a gift.
So I have a long tail.
Okay.
And then the loop at the far end.
Okay.
And you start at the tail end.
Okay.
And you hold it very tightly. Now usually, instead of tape on the ends of ours,
Yeah.
we whip the ends of ours. So this is usually
you
for whipping
use-
the ends.
Okay, got it, like this, similar to
Yes.
that. Okay.
But he's just going to whip it so it stays secure.
Oh.
And usually we use a little bit.
Thicker
We don't
twine.
use
I
this
do,
line
but Dean has bigger ends.
Okay.
because
It's too thin.
well, no, it's slippery.
Yeah, it is slippery.
They make waxed whipping twine.
Yeah, I think this is waxed. We had no idea. There were different kinds.
So you're just pulling tight. You just want to indent your line slightly to keep it from sliding.
Okay.
So you're hard to get the first 3 or 4. You're just wrapping. The thing is, when he gets to the end, that loop he created,
Yeah, he's gonna
he'll
hold
pull
it.
it back
That's so good.
in.
That is so good.
And again, you probably don't need to. As long as there's always tension on the bowline,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have to worry about it coming undone.
Yeah.
It's when it starts not having tension.
Yeah, which can easily happen on
So
a.
why not just be safe and
Oh, totally.
whip it?
For that.
So he's gonna have to undo the shackle.
this in the
and
shackle
put that in
and
the
that's it.
shackle, and then seize it.
Take this end, push it through the loop, all right? Trying to keep it tight. So if you pull the shorter end of the line that we left kind of hanging, you'll notice that that loop is pulling tight. So you're keeping some tension on this part so that everything stays neat. And then you're going to pull on this until it tucks underneath, all right? So that loop is pulling the other end of the line underneath.
You just pulled it through.
Yeah.
That is so
you
cool.
pull it about halfway.
Very
Just
cool.
torch him a little bit here. Give me your.
And then
This final trip up the mast, Brown's task was to remove the shackle, take off the old halyard, put the new halyard on the shackle, close the shackle, and seize it. He had to do this without dropping the tools or the halyards. At 70 feet in the air, this is not an easy task, but he did a fabulous job. And on the way down, he inspected the rigging for any rusting areas and loose screws, and did some quick fixes. A huge thanks to Dean and Chris, who stayed with us until the very end, reconnecting the topping lift, tidying up all of the lines, and putting away all of the equipment. As a thank you, we took them out to dinner with our friends on Bedouin at the local establishment called Colors. This past summer, we installed new hatches over our engines to stop the ingress of water. The old hatches had non-stick covers on them, which really helped us from slipping. The new engine covers were super slippery, and we could not leave them bare. So our project today is to glue the old hatch covers onto our new hatches. Heartbreaking. He's scuffing beautiful brand new glass. Ah! As y'all know, we just spent a fortune on these hatch covers.
Yeah, that's really painful.
And look what Brown just did to the top of it.
So we're taking this and roughing it up. So that we can
We need it to
Put
be a little
some,
bit rough.
tooth on it, otherwise the adhesive's not going to stick. And then we're going to take the old, these are made out of fiberglass, customized for this boat by the
They're
Leopard.
no skid, and they're really important down there.
So we've taken these off of the old hatches, took a lot of time, and I've sanded all of the old, this is where the old caulk was, and these are just too good to pass up. These are fiberglass with gel coat and non-skid on there. We're gonna clean all this up once we get it installed back, but this, we're gonna use 4200 or Sikaflex to glue this to that. So I'm gonna clean that up with some acetone, clean this up with some acetone to get that out of the way, and it's gonna make the adhesive really work well. If this is not fun enough, we had the head of the caulk gun get stuck. See how it's sideways in there? And I think because some of the caulk's dry and old anyway. So what we got to do, we didn't put enough caulk, we don't think, on that. So we need to pull it all the way off while it's still wet and then put some more caulk. But we had to get this unstuck first. And then we're gonna stick some more caulk down. Because if you don't do this right, it's a long process to get it back off and to get it all cleaned off and then to redo it. Caulking is not one of my favorite things to do. We're gonna let this dry probably overnight. Then we'll do the next one. And if these things come off after we do them, I'm gonna cry. Don't you wish you had a boat? Could have all this fun.
So we've removed all the heavy things from the hatch. What's your assessment so far?
Well, I'm glad we taped it all down because you see the Black Death creeping out.